Insanity. Insanity, insanity, madness, and craziness are terms that describe a spectrum of individual and group behaviors that are categorized by certain abnormal mental or behavioral patterns. Insanity can be manifested as violations of societal norms, including a person or persons becoming a danger to themselves or to other people. Conceptually, mental insanity also is associated with the biological phenomenon of contagion, that mental illness is infectious, as in the case of copycat suicides. In contemporary usage, the term insanity is an informal, unscientific term denoting mental instability. Thus, the term insanity defense is the legal definition of mental instability. In medicine, the general term psychosis is used to include the presence either of delusions or of hallucinations or both in a patient. And psychiatric illness is psychopathology, not mental insanity. In English, the word sane derives from Latin, meaning healthy. The phrase mens sana in corpore sano is often translated to mean a healthy mind in a healthy body. From this perspective, insanity can be considered as poor health of the mind, not necessarily of the brain as an organ, although that can affect mental health, but rather refers to defective function of mental processes such as reasoning. Another Latin phrase related to our current concept of sanity is corpus mentis, sound of mind, and a euphemistic term of insanity is non corpus mentis. In law, mens rea means having had criminal intent or a guilty mind when the actus reus, was committed. A more formal use of the term insanity is to denote something or someone considered highly unique, passionate, or extreme, including in a positive sense. The term may also be used as an attempt to discredit or criticize particular ideas, beliefs, principles, desires, personal feelings, attitudes, or their proponents, such as in politics and religion. Read about the historical views and treatment in medicine. Insanity is no longer considered a medical diagnosis, but is a legal term in the US, stemming from its original use in common law. The disorders formerly encompassed by the term covered a wide range of mental disorders now diagnosed as bipolar disorder, organic brain syndromes, schizophrenia, and other psychotic disorders. Read about the legal use of the term in the criminal law, model penal codes. Most courts accept a major mental illness, such as psychosis, but will not accept the diagnosis of a personality disorder for the purposes of an insanity defense. The second question is whether the mental illness interfered with the defendant's ability to distinguish right from wrong. That is, did the defendant know that the alleged behavior was against the law at the time of the offense was committed? Additionally, some jurisdictions add the question of whether or not the defendant was in control of all their behavior at the time of the offense. For example, if the defendant was compelled by some aspect of their mental illness to commit the illegal act, the defendant could be evaluated as not in control of their behavior at the time of the offense. The forensic mental health specialists submit their evaluations to the court. Since the question of sanity or insanity is a legal question and not a medical one, the judge and jury will make final decision regarding the defendant's status regarding an insanity defense. In most jurisdictions within the U.S., if the insanity plea is accepted, the defendant is committed to a psychiatric institution for at least 60 days for further evaluation, and then reevaluated at least yearly after that. Insanity is generally no defense in a civil lawsuit. However, in civil cases, the insanity of the plaintiff can toll the statute of limitations for filing a suit until the plaintiff has recovered from his condition or until the statute of repose has run, according to the encyclopedia. Read about feigned insanity, other uses. In modern times, labeling someone as insane often carries little or no medical meaning and is rather used as an insult or as a reaction to someone doing something crazy. The following quote defined insanity is often used. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Read all about insanity, insanity, insanity.